so much for watching Morning Flakes on New Dawn on the People's Tele, OGTV. Okay, it's time to look at the last segment of this segment of the program. It's called Trending. Here we look at the issues that are very hot in town. And one of the hottest issues in town is the issue of the power tariff hike by the federal government. It's really been a very big issue among Nigerians. But without really wasting much of our time, let's listen to the Minister of Power, Abeokuta, where he actually announced this, and he also tried to justify the reasons behind the decision by the federal government. So we'll come back shortly to talk about it, and of course to take people's comments on this matter.
We are all Nigerians. If people are only places on the high table there, we are on the same level. We must be able to talk to ourselves. We don't have the culture of consumption management in this country in terms of power, just because of the cheapness of the tariff we pay power. A lot of people come back from work, they want to have dinner, or they want to play with their colleagues down the road. They switch on the AC for the country to be cooling before they come back. Yes, some people will be going to work in the morning. The freezer has been left on for days. They will still leave it on when all the items in the freezer are already frozen. After 6-8 hours of their absence, we will not be able to decrease. They will still leave it to consume power. Just because we are not paying enough. We've all been overseas before. We know how conscious the power consumers are to consumption of electricity.
Okay, that was the Minister of Power, Abeokuta, at a press conference where he spoke about the electricity tariff hike. And one of the comments he made is that Nigerians are, bad when it comes to consumption management. What does that mean? Consumption management from the minister. Very simple. Yeah. When you're going out, you switch off everything. Yeah. So he's saying that Nigerians do that because they are buying electricity very cheaply.
Well, I watched the video. It was a press conference for the increase on this tariff plan, and power for Nigeria and for everyone, I want to believe, is very important. In fact, people can adapt to a settlement where the roads are bad or there's no stable water supply, as long as they have electricity. Because a lot of things, there's a lot of things that comes with power. Some people even build their livelihood around power. So you increase the tariff on this plant, and the press conference or the press discussion, was to either sympathize with Nigerians, and that's why people are not taking it funny. We buy these things in our prepaid meters, and we know what we consume because we are paying for it. Now, I agree that people need to be conscious in the consumption of these things, but there are some things that you cannot but use. For instance, the freezer, which he emphasized on. Freezer is meant to be, to be cold.
And to be put on every now and then.
Put on every now and then. So how do you justify that?
Anyway, we'll be taking some comments by Nigerians on this, but it's important that we also set the records straight about what the federal government is trying to, or what NERC is trying to achieve. They've actually divided locations for consumption of electricity into 5 bands. We have band A. Band A will get 20 hours. You said you belong to band A. Where you live?
Without thinking twice, I belong to
band B. 16 hours. Band C 12 hours. Band D 8 hours, and then band E 4 hours. I don't know. Maybe I live. Maybe I belong to band E here or band D.
My question is why do some people deserve to be in band A and others in band D or band E?
No, I think according to the minister, those who are in band A are those who can afford the hike. And so they'll get electricity for 20 hours and they can pay for it. Now let's take the comments of Nigerians on this. We need to tell ourselves the bitter truth. As Nigerians, we don't have consumption. This is from the minister anyway. In this country, some people leave their AC and freezers on for days because we are not paying enough for the power. Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabu. Now, you are contesting this.
Yes. Now, I want to agree that before the minister said something like that, he must have seen people do it. So let's not take the fact that out there are tendency that people do this.
But we do it.
We do it. Yes,
yeah, we do it.
Fact.
I don't do it. We do it generally, but I don't. In my family.
Because you are aware.
Exactly. Ever before this decision, I've not been doing it. Again, for safety's sake. You don't have to leave your power on when you are living home with your family. You're going to work. Your children are going to school. And all that. Now, there are other comments. This man doesn't know what he's saying. We buy light on a prepaid meter, and you still want to tell us how to use it. Maybe he's referring to those without prepaid meter.
This is what I was referring to. So if I buy my prepaid meter, if I buy these things and I buy the card for it, it means that I need to be sensitive on how to use it. No one needs to tell me how to manage this thing. So maybe for a fact he's referring to some people who are not using prepaid meter, which I think he should have mentioned, because this is a very sensitive issue. It touches every Nigerian, whether rich or poor.
I agree with you. I I don't know. There are oppositions to this decision already. Nigerians are talking. Some groups have actually said they're going to down tools and all of that. Maybe the federal government will have a rethink of this. But because, of course, when issues like this happen, it also opens the Pandora box. And what is Pandora box? A lot of issues that have been there that have not been attended to, and so I like it coming, but it also has to be an issue that has to be looked at critically before its enforcement becomes functional. Let's take more comments. Nothing but the truth. One of Nigeria's biggest problems is electricity consumption management. Same people will travel abroad and will not leave a single electric bulb on if not needed. We waste electricity in Nigeria, and that's the bitter truth. This is coming from Henry, MD, Dumpy.
So that's why I was saying that, of a fact, there are people who are not cautious of this. You want to leave the house, your bulbs, they're on, your fan. Some people forget all these things, but these are just little things that we need to be aware of.
Even here in OGTV, we do consumption management. You
don't need to be told. How do you spend on this all of this?
So I think that's the point. That's the point.
The minister?
No, that's the point you are trying to make.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of spin-offs are coming out of this.
Just
now,
like you said, it's a box.
I don't know if you grew up using this, Miriam.
Yeah, I did, please.
Did you grow up using this?
I did.
Okay.
Don't come for me this
I don't
morning.
know. Senior is also, and today are getting set for the second segment of this program. I don't know if they grew up using this. I grew up using this.
I think people still use it, especially
coal iron. Coal iron, and it was quite good then. You know, you could use it to iron your khaki, you know, your school khaki, your school uniform, and all that. Now this is coming back. Are we going to go to this?
You know, Nigerians, one beautiful thing about us is we are always ready to adapt. I can't believe people are thinking of this already when we're still talking about the tariff plan. You know, so that's actually very
okay. I don't know. I don't know if we are going to take more comments. We used to have more comments from the social media about this particular issue, but then if you don't have any more, the point has been made by the federal government, and certainly this decision is you know, getting some stiff opposition. Some people are going to fight against it.
Of course.
I don't know whether the federal government will have the energy to fight the battle and make it stay.
It's democracy, yeah, right? So when you make these rules or these things, these decisions for the people you govern, it means that they should have a say in whatever decision you make. And when it's not favorable to the majority, you go back to the drawing board.
But do you know, Miriam, that some people that have been using electricity without paying for it are now being caught by this system?
Yes.
They're going to be made. They're going to be made to pay for it now. There are some people, some rich Nigerians that belong to the band A, who get electricity for 20 hours and they've not been paying for it.
You know, you just said something very important. Have you been to some of these rural areas? They have steady electricity than people in the urban setting. And we're talking about bands now,
And
band A, and they can't even afford it.
And they're not in that band. They don't belong to that band.
Some of them are actually in band A by default, even though that they are, you know, they have to pay for it because they're enjoying stable electricity up to 20 hours in a day.
Are you one
and
of
they
those?
can't afford.
I
know people like that. I know I've observed things, but that's the truth. So I'm not really sure how these things work. Some people are getting it, and some are suffering seriously for it.
Anyway, that's our trending issue this morning. On Wednesday, we'll bring you another one. And on Friday, there will be another one on this program. But for now, our colleagues are set. Tunde Olaniro is set. Senior Tabaru is also set. And they are taking us through the next segment on the program. That's the interview segment. You guys, how are you?
We're doing great.
The argument is really intense. And Miriam is taking it personal.
I don't know what I've seen in this past few days.
Tunde lives here. Tunde lives here.
I live in Bad E.
Okay. You were asking about that iron that was brought back. You know, when I was growing, I don't think I've ever used electricity to iron my clothes before.
Wow.
When I was growing up. So this is
You
the kind
grew
of
up in a rural area.
In a rural area.
Yeah.
Exactly what you're trying to drive. I knew when you mentioned my name, you were trying very hard to drag me into it so that I could say this. But notwithstanding, I think, like she said, we know how to adapt, and the wastages that we also, do most of the time with electricity, I think it will stop henceforth, because people are going to be paid, charged for whatever they are using, and of course the different arguments are there. Really, like you said, government can still look into it and say, oh, the people are complaining too much. Maybe we should step it down. Or if we want development, like we have been calling for, maybe that will stand.
Exactly. You're right.
Okay. Well, when you try to solve a problem in Nigeria, you create another one.
Another one.
That's life. And I'm sure the minister himself would by now probably be thinking of how to rework the policy, and make it better and to accommodate more interests and more complaints, because Miriam has actually come up with very, very fantastic and valid arguments, about some people who are not in band A. And they enjoy electricity. She doesn't belong to band A.
I'm in band A actually, and I enjoy it and I pay for it. But I'm saying that some people in band A paying more for it.
Don't mind. I'm sure most Nigerians will not mind paying as long as they get it. The challenge now is that some people pay, but they don't get.
Exactly.
And some people that have the meter that are enjoying the lights are bypassing the meter. That's the argument of the government. So because you are not paying, because you bypass the meter, you are enjoying electricity without paying. That means you use it lavishly. You just put on whatever AC, refrigerator, because you have bypassed the meter. So it's a two-way thing. The government needs to adjust. The people need to adjust. And I think it's high time the government did what we call massive sensitization on electricity usage.
Yes,
because it's our culture in Nigeria. We are not used to it. You go out in the morning and you leave your security lights on.
But when we travel abroad, we get used to it.
We are made to get used to it.
Yes,
because if you don't, you incur a lot of costs.
I mean, someone was saying just a few days ago that Nigerians pay more tariff plan on electricity than some African countries. Take, for instance, Ghana. And Ghana have more stable electricity than some parts of Nigeria.
Because they're made to pay for it, you know, and definitely they have to even understand what it means to manage it better.
Okay, you guys, we'll leave it here with you, so you can take it from us. Today and Seniors are discussing Student Loan Act. That's another exciting topic that you would love to watch on New Dawn this Monday morning. So today, Seniors, over to you.
All right, thank you very much, and thank you for joining us all this while. And it's time for our discussion segment, the interview segment. We have two gentlemen that will be joining us, but before, like Bjorn has let the cat out of the bag. Actually, we are discussing student loan act, and unfortunately, some of us might not be partaker of this loan because we have passed that stage. But this is what we are going to be discussing in the next 1 hour, and you are going to enjoy it because the guys that are coming on set now are proven in their field, educationists par excellence, and they will be dissecting this topic with us. So don't go anywhere. We will be back after this break.